equipment is really expensive. Let me rephrase that. Horse tack can be extremely expensive unless you know how to get a good deal. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from budgetequestrian.com, where I share different ideas with you for you to make the most of the time that you have with your horse. And today I'm going to share with you some different ideas to help you get the most out of the money that you have so that you can afford to buy tack. Let's face it, horse tack is extremely expensive, especially if you want to get a really good bridle or a really good saddle or basically anything. You could spend a lot of money on it, but you don't have to. You don't necessarily have to go to places like Smart Pack or Dover Saddlery to find really good tack. Yes, they do have really good tack, really nice tack, but it can put a huge dent in your budget. And if you're just getting started with horses, that budget probably isn't very large. Unless you're an Olympic rider, you're sponsored by somebody and you have tons of money, then this video isn't for you anyway. But for those of you like me who don't want to spend a fortune on outfitting yourself or your horse, here are some options that you could do. Number one, look on eBay. Now, this has gotten a little bit trickier and a little bit more time consuming lately that I found, but I have found some really good deals on eBay for some really nice tack. Actually, my awesome saddle that's sitting right there, I got that on eBay for, I think it was about $650 shipped. It's a Schlessie, I don't know if I'm saying that right, saddle, but used they generally go for over $1,000, $1,200. This is an older saddle, but it works perfectly for me, and I was just patient, waited, and I was able to find it. So when you're looking on eBay for different horse items, you don't necessarily want to type in the name brand, because if somebody's selling something and they don't really know what they have or they don't know anything about horse tack, they could have a really nice saddle and just title it close contact saddle. They may not know the size of the saddle, but if you were interested in it, all you have to do is send the seller a message and say, hey, can you measure this saddle? If you don't know how to do it, explain to them how you measure a saddle. I've also found some really nice bridles on eBay that weren't very expensive. For example, I found this bridle on eBay. It was $49. It was new, but it's a pretty nice bridle, and it was something that I wanted, so I bought it. This was a buy it now. So what's an auction and what's a buy it now? Knowing those differences will help you to navigate through eBay. So my bridle was buy it now. So it was a fixed price. All you have to do is say yes, commit to buy it, pay for it, and they'll ship it. Sometimes when they have buy it now prices, they have best offer. So you could make the seller an offer. If they accept your offer, you get whatever the auction is for that price. My saddle, on the other hand, was an auction. So what I did with that was I waited until there was like a minute left in the auction, and then I put in my highest bid. Unfortunately, waiting for 1 minute was too much time, so someone else was bidding at the same time I was. The saddle was listed at like $500, but because me and this other person were basically in a bidding war the last 30 seconds of the saddle, it ended up costing me an extra $150 if I just would have been patient. But lesson learned, and I really wanted the saddle. Another great option for finding horse tack is to go to yard sales or garage sales. I've had a little bit of luck with this where I've gone to some yard sales, especially out in the country where I live, so out farther away from town. And sometimes you can find some really nice horse stuff and people just want to get rid of it. They don't have horses anymore, or they have too much stuff and they just want it gone. You can usually find some really good deals that way. And sometimes when you go to yard sales, you could buy like a whole box of horse stuff. There might be 1 or 2 pieces in there that are good for you, but you can take the rest of it and you yourself could sell it on eBay to turn around and make a profit. So your horse tack that you just got, you might be able to get for nothing and make a little bit of extra money. That's really nice. Another place to look for horse supplies, And this is more related to for the rider, so equestrian stuff like breeches or boots, sometimes helmets, is look at thrift stores like Goodwill, Savers, or whatever type of thrift stores you have in your area. I've actually found a couple of pair of Ariat breeches at a local thrift store. I think there was 4 pair of them, and so I bought all of them. They were $7.99 a piece. They were I think they were called ProFit or Pro Rider by Ariat. They were full seat breeches. They were awesome. Basically $8 a piece. I kept 1 pair for myself and I sold the other 3 on eBay. So by selling those 3 pair of breeches, it actually paid for the breeches that I had. Sometimes you can find riding boots too. Western I've seen more readily in thrift stores. I have found a couple of pair of English riding boots, but they've usually been for kids. But if that's what you're looking for, don't discount going to places like Goodwill or thrift stores, because you can actually find some really nice stuff there, even horse stuff. Another option would be to look on Craigslist, but I would advise you to be careful on Craigslist, because it's been my experience, people that list saddles and stuff on Craigslist usually want top dollar. Usually they list it for what the regular retail price is of the items. So like a saddle or just different miscellaneous horse stuff. Usually they want the going rate. I don't want to have to meet someone somewhere and pay what I would pay for it brand new when it's used equipment. Now let's say you don't have any of those options available to you. Where are different places that you can buy horse equipment or tack online, and how do you get the best deals? My favorite place to buy anything horse related online is ridingwarehouse.com. They have a ton of stuff, they ship super fast, and they do have the best prices. And the stuff that they have, the tack, the helmets, riding clothing, grooming equipment, everything, they have the absolute best prices. So that's where I always go first. And a lot of times they have different sales. So for Memorial Day weekend, which just passed, they had 20% off. So basically anything you bought was 20% off, and you got something brand new, which is awesome. Another place I will shop is Dover Saddlery. I do like going to Dover, but I do find that they're a little bit more expensive. So my tip for shopping on Dover Saddlery is to look in their clearance section. And sometimes you can find promo codes or coupon codes so you get a little bit of a discount. I have bought some stuff on SmartPack, but to me I found that they were really expensive. So if there's something that I want, I'm going to look on Dover first, I'm actually going to look on Riding Warehouse first, then I'll go to Dover. Some other places you can look is on Amazon. Sometimes people will put stuff on Amazon. They'll go out and find stuff for sale, then they'll list it for sale on Amazon. My Ovation breeches that I think I spent $100 on, which was a lot for me, but I found them on Amazon for like $79, and then I think I also found a pair of knee patch breeches, the same Ovation brand, and they were like $60. So lesson learned, always look at lots of different options before you commit to buying something. Now let's say that you don't have a lot of money, that you can't afford to buy really nice horse stuff, or you don't think you can afford it, and you just need to make do with the horse stuff that you have. Let's say you have a cheap cardboard type bridle, but you really want to make it look nice. One trick that you can do is soak it in neat's foot oil, and that will really soften the leather and make it much more pliable. So that's something I want to do with this bridle, but I haven't done it yet. So the leather is really stiff. And when I compare these two bridles, so this is the stiff one. This is an old bridle that I actually got in that humongous tack haul from my friend Linda. It is, if I can remember the name of it. So this is an Arc de Triomphe bridle that was in that huge tack haul that I had from my friend Linda. This is an awesome bridle. It's older and it hadn't been cleaned or taken care of in a long time. And actually, this is the bit that I cleaned with the different homemade cleaner that I made. And then I ended up using something else, which that video will be coming out soon. But it's a really nice bridle, and I just had to clean it and condition it. But this is like a $400 bridle versus this bridle I got on, I think I got this at statelinetack.com. It was $16.99. Yes, it's a cheap bridle. It's a square raised bridle with the brow band and the noseband being raised, but like a square pattern. So it's not the best. It's actually a silver fox bridle. But for like $16 or $17, it's not bad. I am going to soak this in neatsfoot oil to make it even nicer. But if you can, find something like this for free. It's like a $400 bridle for free. This is the best deal ever. And then to make the most of the tack that you're either buying or that you find, make sure you take care of it. So after every ride, make sure you wipe down, get all the sweat and salt and stuff off of your bridle and your girths and the bottom of your saddle. Clean your tack regularly, including your boots, and also condition the leather to make it last a really, really long time. And yes, I know tack is really expensive, but sometimes you just get a killer deal, or sometimes you just have to, make the purchase. So in instances like that, figure out a way that you can earn some extra money so that you can buy a really nice bridle, or that you can get the saddle that you've always wanted, or even a half pad. It's completely up to you. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And yes, it's expensive, but it's more fun if you've worked hard to save money to buy that very special piece of equipment, and you're able to do it because you've saved the money yourself to do it. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, sometimes on Saturdays too. Again, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay passionate and enjoy your ride.